Facebook and Periscope friends. I am live on both platforms. Super excited to be here. It is Min Ling from Brand Fame, and I haven't been on Facebook Live or on Periscope for a little bit. I've been out of the country, traveling, hanging out with my family, visiting the world, so it's been quite an adventure, and I'm super happy to be back talking about this subject. I'm just going to give it a few more seconds before I go ahead and get started. I just saw somebody join in live on Periscope, so hello, a couple people are joining live. Facebook Live viewers, go ahead and say hello as well too. Would love to see both of you. Awesome, got some hearts going. Woo, ready to talk about this subject, and I have been on a kick on talking about this subject. Wrote a couple blog posts about it. Really excited about sharing this topic about, why your whys don't matter, and it's not really going to help build your business or your brand. I'm going to go ahead and share why I think that's the case and what you need to do instead. And it's something that I'm really passionate about talking about right now, because I see so many business coaches and so many just coaches in general and online programs that say you gotta have your why. You gotta have your why. How many people out there, have people have told them that they need to have a strong why? If you go ahead and either raise your hands, tap the screen, whatever, comments, whatever you want to do, just let me know if you've experienced this, because I'm surely not the only one that has people saying you got to get your why, you got to get that down. Now, I'm not discrediting the why. It's not necessarily that you shouldn't have a why, because a why helps you get motivated, helps you stay on purpose, and really motivates your vision and the direction you want to go. But the reason why I say that, your why doesn't really help you build your business or your brand is because other people don't necessarily care about your why. That's because when you're thinking about it from their perspective, all they care about is if you can solve a problem for them. That's all they care about. They don't care about that you want to leave your 9-to-5 job, that you want to have financial freedom, that you want to, travel the world, that you want to do all this stuff, right? People don't really necessarily care about that if those are your whys. Now, if you have a stronger why that is more relevant to how your ideal clients and customers feel, then that becomes a movement. So basically what I'm saying is that all whys are not created equal. There's a couple of different things that you really need to think about. I'm going to look back at my notes. I have it on the side because my mind was racing earlier as I was thinking about this subject and what I wanted to say about it. Because when you have a strong enough why that is a bigger mission that goes beyond you and your reasoning, and that serves a bigger purpose, then it can be successful, and then it can build your brand. For example, one of my favorite brands in the world is Tom's Shoes. I talk about it. I love it. I'm an evangelist for this company. I talk about it all the time. And when the person who founded Tom's Shoes started the company, he wanted to really start the company because he wanted to help kids who didn't have shoes in Argentina get shoes on a consistent basis. So that's why he started this company. And so his mission was bigger, and it connected with his ideal clients in a deep and compassionate way, because his ideal clients, which are people like me, want to make a difference, want to, help a cause, want to help people, get shoes or do other causes, right? So his why was directly linked to me as a person and as his ideal client. So his why wasn't this personal why that I want to just start a business, a shoe company. His why was bigger than him, and it was to cause and create a movement that would actually impact others and that his ideal clients would actually resonate with. So not all whys are created equal. And the reason why I say you can't build your brand on a why is because, most of the time what people have as their whys are very personal. It's not this bigger vision. It's not this bigger thing. It's more about, doing something for their own lives. Maybe it's spending more time with their kids. Maybe, going to travel more or whatever, leaving your 9-to-5 job, having financial freedom. While those things are all great and we all have that, the reason why it's not as impactful is not only because it doesn't necessarily resonate with your ideal clients because they don't care. Again, like I said, they only care about how you're going to solve a problem for them. But the other reason is because there's a lot of other people out there with the same why. It's not going to build your brand if you have the same why as other people in your industry. Now, what made Tom's Shoes different was because nobody else was doing this social giving, this social, company giving away shoes for a purchase. Nobody else was really doing that at the time that he created it. So his why really stood out and resonated. But what I see, especially in the online coaching world, what happens is we all tend to have similar whys, financial freedom, leaving the 9-to-5 jobs, then you end up sounding exactly the same as everyone else that's in the market. And therein lies the problem. When you have a brand, you are branded differently. You are doing something that is unique. You don't have a brand if you're doing something or saying something similar to someone else, even if you are different, right? That's not a brand. Brands are based on creating differences. If you have the same thing, you are going to be treated as a commodity. If I see people talking about freedom-based business or whatever, I've seen 10 posts about that, right? How are you different than someone else, right? Or if you specialize in weight loss, how are you different than the other weight loss coach? And if you always talk about weight loss, if you have a multi-level marketing company, or a part of a multi-level marketing company, same thing. How are you different than the other people in your company? Your why is not going to set you apart because your why is too similar to everyone else that is out there right now, and you're competing for time and attention. And because you have the same whys, it's harder for people to resonate with you. What you have to find instead is that one differentiating point that gets people to say, oh, I can't get that anywhere else. That I need that. Oh, that's exactly what I'm looking for. So, for example, in my business, I talk about branding, but I don't talk about it in a way that, most branding people out there talk about it. I don't really talk about the logos, graphics, and design, right? Yes, people need it, but that's not the right message. What makes me different is I talk about the strategy. I talk about how you position yourself and how people think about you, because branding really is not, living with you. It actually lives in other people's heads. It's how they perceive you, how they think of you. And you want to make sure that you are aligned with the words, with the feeling, with the experience that you want to create for your brand that makes them want to say, yes, this is exactly what I want. And you have to find that special thing, or else you're going to be a commodity and you're going to compete on price. And we all know what happens when you compete on price, right? They're going to price shop. They're going to look at other people, other services and products, and see where they can get a better deal. But if you have something that they can't get anywhere else, that is how you build a business. That is how you build a brand. For example, let's take Apple. Apple was a great example back in 2007 when they first launched the iPhone. No one had this phone out there. They were killing it because no one had the wherewithal to create a touch screen that also allowed people to, talk on the phone, to also check the internet, to, check their emails, have a camera that was actually good quality. Nobody had that, right? Nobody created that. And they were different because they created hey, you don't have to carry all 4 items. Now you get it in one. You get it in the iPhone. That made them different. That made them stand out. And everybody was lining up at their Apple store to get their iPhone because they wanted this technology. They didn't want to wait. They wanted it now. That's a sense of urgency that you have to create. And if you don't figure out what that differentiating factor is, what I call the it factor, if you don't know what that is, you're going to have a harder time selling what it is that you want to sell, because people have choices. We are, inundated with choices every day. If you look at the supermarket, there's so many choices. If you look at, just online marketing, or even like on Amazon, I mean, how many products are on Amazon, right? How does one product stand out from the rest? And it's through branding. It's through creating an experience, creating something that the differentiating point, I should say, that nobody else can have and nobody else, are talking about. Because when you're able to position yourself in a way that shows, I'm the only one that does this, I'm the only one that's saying this the way that I'm saying this, then that's when people will want to come and buy from you. Is this resonating with you? If it is, go ahead, either tap the screen for some hearts if you're on Periscope, or likes on Facebook, or go ahead and just comment below. Yes, there's some hearts going on Periscope. So, you really got to figure this piece out. And when you have a why, you got to either make it different enough and make it bigger than you, or else it's not going to work. I got somebody saying on Periscope, yes, but it's very hard to figure it out. Yeah, it is hard to figure out. I'm going to give you 3 tips right now on how to figure that out, and I'm also going to share other ways to do this, or other ways you can get support around this as well too. So stick around and hear all that stuff out too. So, one of the things that you can do is to list out what your strengths are. What are you uniquely good at doing? Write everything down, because it's really important to understand what your strengths are, so you can start to think about, okay, what could potentially make me different, right? We're not choosing it right now, but it's really to think about what those strengths are. So for example, for me, my strengths is branding strategy, positioning, understanding people's message, understanding really how to get into their ideal clients' heads. Those are some of my strengths, and that's what I really am leveraging my business off of, right? Another one of my clients, she's really good at helping women who happen to be naturally thin, helping them, get fit. That's something that she's doing. And the reason why it's different is because she's not talking about weight loss. She's a health coach, but she's not talking about weight loss. But what she's really good at, because she's been naturally thin, she's really good at helping those people get fit and really enjoy, working out. She's really good at that because that's what she knows, right? I have another client who is really good at, real estate. What did she do? In 18 months, she created $1 million portfolio. And so when she wanted to start her business, we were looking at what her strengths were, and that was one of her strengths. So we're positioning her as a real estate expert for people who want, passive income or supplemental income. So you got to think about your strengths, what you're uniquely good at, whether it's project management, whether it's, social media, whatever it is, write it all down. Then you also want to think about, what it is that your competitors are doing as well too. What are they doing that they're talking about? Because it's really important to understand what it is that they're talking about to see if you're talking about the same thing. So there's very few people that are talking about what I'm talking about in terms of branding. They talk about the logos, the graphics, and all that stuff. That's not what I talk about. I talk about the strategy, and that's how people see me as an expert, and that's why I've been asked to be experts on different people's panels, spoken live on stage as well too. It's because I have a different spin on things when it comes to branding than what other people are teaching, and that makes me uniquely positioned and different. Same with the people that I just talked about earlier. Some of my clients, nobody else is talking about what they're talking about necessarily in the way that they're talking about it. And you have to figure out, okay, what you are good at, what your strengths are, and then also what your competitors are saying, and making sure that that's different, that it's not overlapping. The third thing is what I just said. You want to then now take what you know about yourself and what you know about your competitors and see what's overlapping and what's not overlapping, and then also see what your clients and customers need that aren't being addressed by your competitors. That's just the gist of it. That's just like the basics of it. I could go and talk about this in more detail, but this is this is not a huge training and all that stuff. Oh, hi Jen, hello, I haven't seen you in a while. But so if you are interested in actually figuring out, how to really create your business in a really impactful way and really create it in a way that gets people to say, yes, I want that, I want to invite you to a free training I'm doing on Thursday. The training is called Discover Your It Factor and Make Bank in Your Business. It's completely free. It's at 5 p.m. Pacific time, and you can go to brandfameschool.com/it factor to go ahead and sign up. Again, it's brandfameschool.com/it factor to go ahead and sign up for the free training. I'll go into more details about the importance of your it factor and really walk you through the 3 steps that you must do to become a brand worth following. And I'll also go through a bunch of other scenarios and examples as well too. You said, okay, oh no, I'll be flying on Thursday. It's okay. There is, I think I'm going to do a replay for it. So go ahead and sign up for it, even if you, are traveling. I'm pretty sure I'm going to do a replay. I'm not 100% sure, but go ahead and sign up for it. I might do it again next week. I'm not sure. So chances are, if you can't make it, just go ahead and sign up so that you'll know when the next one is, or if I do a replay, you'll at least have it. So awesome. Is it Roombi? Did I pronounce your name right? I know you're on Periscope. Hopefully I pronounced your name right. If not, just let me know. People mispronounce Minling all the time. I get the weirdest pronunciations. Oh, good. I did pronounce it right on Periscope. Thank you very much. So if you guys have any questions, feel free and put it either in the chat box below, or, just come on to this call. I'll be happy to walk you through how to discover your IT brand. The question was, what's the website again? It's brand, BRAND, fame as in famous, F as in Frank, AME, school.com/it factor. brandfameschool.com/it factor. And you can go ahead and sign up for the free training that I'm having on Thursday at 5 p.m. Pacific time. So thank you guys so much for being here. If you have any questions, pop it in the comments box. If you're on Periscope, I also am posting it on my Facebook page as well too, so you can always put comments on my Facebook page, and I will be able to answer. And if you're on Facebook Live, just pop it below and I will answer your questions. Do I do speaking? I have done speaking. I definitely have at live events. That's something that I want to grow and expand, but I have done a few live events as well. So if I don't know why you asked. Do you have a speaking engagement that you want to book me for? I love getting these questions. Oh, you're hosting a conference. Awesome. Well, Nimby, hopefully I pronounced your name right. Go ahead and inbox me on Facebook. You're in Portland. Okay, yeah, inbox me in Portland. My Facebook page is just Minling Chuang, my first and last name. You can see it on Periscope, my first and last name, and just just do a Google search for me, or not Google, Facebook search for me, and just inbox me on Facebook, and then we can connect and see how we can support each other. Awesome. I love it when there's connections like this all the time. So anyways, if you have any questions, feel free to let me know. I enjoyed speaking to you about branding and about your why and what you need to do instead to really start to stand out in the market. And I can't wait to see you in the training on Thursday, so be sure to check it out, and have a wonderful day, everyone. Bye.